Hey, good morning. Good morning from the office. I am your host, BKP. We are North Georgia's only live online morning show. What happened to be? What was your favorite part? And I love this. Good. Thank you so much. I like to get text in the morning. I really do. Many of you out there send me text, and I'm going to look on the actual. I posted it on Facebook. I'll see what some people say on social media, what your answer is. But I got a text this morning. I think I liked Burgess Owens best. No, Richard Grinnell was extremely informative on things that many people don't remember. That sums up, or that puts right in line on how awesome the Republican National Convention has been, although it's not a traditional convention, but working with what they have and what they can do, that fits right in because I have a 2-hour show. I know for a fact that you're going to have favorite moments, and they're so hard to pick from, that you're going to say, I wish you would have said this, or I wish you would have played that. And let me say, they're all great. So as I said yesterday, nobody is wrong in our favorite moments from the RNC last night. And I'm definitely going to play mine. I've tried to watch and be perceptive to see what the campaign is doing. I watched the Democrats to try to figure out the angle they're going in. Okay. And the reality is they're just caught in, we'll wrap it up in the most radical platform. Okay. It's childish what the networks are doing. Well, the Republicans didn't even pass on that platform. Okay. The media response is really childish. And what did you expect? So again, we're going to talk a lot today. We're going to talk about how you get the word out to family, friends, and voters. And because you can't expect this to show up in the media. Richard Grinnell, let me tell you, for the person that sent me, okay, for the person that sent me this text, okay, I painstakingly, is that what I would say? I don't know if I should say that or not. Give me number 72. You sent me, this is fan mail request, okay? But you said Richard Grinnell. So look at here, number 72, Richard Grinnell. Whenever we can get that up, all right? As soon as you can get to it. I know you're trying to put all of them in. I sent some late, whatever. So if we can get number 72 up, Richard Grinnell there. Still waiting on that. Did I not send it? Did I forget to send you 72? If you didn't find 72, see if you can find 72 for me. But anyhow, Richard Grinnell says, Grinnell hammers Obama administration. Thank you, Destiny. I know I sent like several different, but thank you very much there in the studio. Grinnell hammers Obama Biden administration. What I saw as acting DNI made me sick to my stomach. Sick to my stomach. Now, let me just start out really quick, because if you got up, I watch painstakingly CNN and MSNBC in the morning. Yes. I want to see what they're going to do or what they will not present to the American people in news reporting. And this happened last night. We might play a little of Richard Grinnell, former DNI, happens to be gay. Why they leave the gay guy out? But it does. He happens to be gay man. Okay. Ambassador, I think, to Germany, and then acting DNI director. What I saw made me sick to my stomach. No, that's not what is being reported this morning on the networks. Let me show you their convention breakdown for the networks this morning, so you can see what's happening out there. Number 32. They are discussing not what made Richard Grenell sick to his stomach. They're discussing the coronavirus protocols during Melania Trump's address. Not all attendees were tested. Guests in the first few rows were screened for the virus prior to the remarks. Chairs were slightly apart, but not 6 feet. Yes, that's what they're discussing. That's what they're discussing. Nothing else of substance. The hurricane has come in, and they all have come in, and they don't pray to, I'm sorry, they do not, we don't have the same God, I guess. I'll see how I can put this. Somebody sent me yesterday, God, government of Democrats. That's what they are. They are the God, the government, okay? And just in time, I mean, number 25 this morning, and we'll get into some substance here in a minute. But number 25, tracking Laura, okay? The last 2 hours, MSNBC, CNN, I can show you one in a minute, okay? Now, yes, we want to pray for the safety of our friends down in the path of this terrible hurricane, okay? Lake Charles, up all the way through Memphis, the way the track of it is going. But they had to get up this morning and thank God for a hurricane, so they didn't have to talk about the Republicans. You know, speaking of Laura, let me say this. Laura Trump's a beautiful lady. She is. She is just, I don't put a lot of time in. I study the media, I study politics, and Laura Trump is Eric Trump's wife. And I read from time to time something she may say or something she attends. But when she came out on the stage and talked about being a North Carolina girl, and I'm thinking, man, I bet that was interesting, heading to New York City. And next thing you know, you're married into the Trump family and you're from North Carolina. So that being said, let me give you my moment. Let me start out the morning. Now, I'm going to have a Democrat, the Fannin County Democratic Party chair, Doug DeMore, is going to join me at 8:45, and he's going to share, for sure, his thoughts of how great the Republican, maybe he's going to be one of the Democrats, like the Democrats from Minnesota that keep showing up, or the, as politically correct you would say it, African-American Democrats that keep showing up. Or maybe the union leader Democrats that keep showing up at the Republican convention. I don't know. Maybe Doug's going to make an announcement this morning. We'll see, right? Democrats keep showing up at the convention. Why? Well, we had a whole list. We had John Kasich at our convention. John Kasich said Christians can vote for Joe Biden. How you like those apples? Phew, that's how I like those apples. Anyhow, where was I at? This is my moment for me. I'm going to go with my moment. I had a hard time last night. Kayleigh McEnany. The Nun. That wasn't nice, the Nun. Mick. But Kayleigh McEnany. I had a hard time with picking this one, but my moment of the night, and I'll tell you why. Give me number 15. And then find his video. I think I have a start time, okay? This is Madison Cawthorn, right? Crawthorn, all right? Running for the 11th district of North Carolina. Now he is Madison Cawthorn. He is running for the 11th district of North Carolina, and it is Mark Meadows' former seat, Chief of Staff Mark Meadows' former seat here in North Carolina. He had a car accident. He's 25 years old, and I guess this one was special for me for so many levels. He was on the show. If you look it up, after about 3 days after the election where he won the Republican primary in North Carolina, 11th district, he was on this show right here. He called in, and I just really enjoyed talking to this young man. And maybe you out there heard the interview that day. Let's play this video. This is the one that got me last night.
Have to apologize for your beliefs or cower to a mob. You can kneel before God, but stand for our flag. The American idea my ancestors fought for during the Revolutionary War is just as exciting and revolutionary today as it was 250 years ago. I say to Americans who love our country, young and old, be a radical for freedom. Be a radical for liberty. And be a radical for our republic, for which I stand, one nation under God, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, and may God bless America.
All right, that was my favorite. Let me see yours. And when I say favorite, I am going to tell you there's runner-up, and there's next runner-up, and there's maybe that's my favorite, and I could change my mind. That is how amazing the Republican National Convention has been the first 3 nights, capped off by a very good speech by Vice President Mike Pence with President Trump and First Lady Melania Trump coming out and greeting the audience. Oh, by the way, Joe's still in a basement. Republicans are out there. Republicans are engaging with the voters. Republicans know that they cannot hide from the virus. It's not taking the risk that Democrats want to lead you to be in such fear of. But Republicans know we have to take this on, but we can't change our lives to the point that we don't do things like communicate with the voters. Joe's in the basement. Kneel before God. Now, this 25-year-old, I think when he was on the show, he was 24. He's 25 years old, which actually that is the age. You have to be 25. James Madison, did he say last night James Madison was 25 years old when he signed the Declaration of Independence? I hope I didn't get that wrong. Kneel before God, but stand for our flag. That was my moment. He had a car accident. He used to stand 6'3" when he stood up. He talked about his time and being ready to give up. This was such a positive point. Now, I'm going to give you 2 more that we're going to go into, but I want to say something about the convention that's not all heartstrings, okay? Let's go through these numbers because let's go through these photos, because if you're watching any of the networks, they'll tell you, they'll look, this is the fear they have, is free-thinking black men and women in America. This is their greatest fear, okay? Democrats, absolutely. Greatest fear. Freedom-loving, free to think for themselves, black Americans, biggest fear they have. And I just want to run through these quickly just to recap, okay, some things at this convention, all right? Number 1, Tim Scott. Okay, we're going to start at 1. I'll go through here. I'm going to get some at the convention because then there's something else I want to do before my break. Number 1, Tim Scott. Let's not forget. Cotton to Congress in one lifetime. Number 2, my winner yesterday. And I'm just putting it like that. Number 2, the winner yesterday, the pardon of John Ponder ahead of the RNC. These are men and women that are being pardoned, let out of jail for the first step or the criminal justice reform. Trust me, Black America knows this. That's why they have to play up Kenosha, Wisconsin. Now, do I like somebody got shot? I can't stand when somebody thinks that I may like what happened. But was there a weapon? Was there an outstanding warrant? The police pull you over and they tell you to wait, and they say, run this, you got ID, run this for me. Okay? You stay right there. And if they run and you've got an outstanding warrant, you're going in. And I don't care if your kids are sitting in the back seat. Okay? I mean, it's not, I don't care, but I don't care. You're going in. So there's a lot more with the shooting in Kenosha, Wisconsin, but the media is loving the fact that they have they're so fearful. They're so fearful that Black American voters in the inner city are going to vote for Trump. You don't have to believe that, but they are. And it is causing an outrage, and it's all hands on deck. NBA, Major League Baseball, anybody and anyone, all hands on deck. We have a 5-alarm fire when it comes to Black Americans may vote for Republicans. So we've got Mr. Ponder there, number 2. Then we have Kimberly Klacik, number 3. Okay. Now, where is Kimberly? Now, I'm going to draw some parallels to this convention. You're probably drawing them because Republicans are very smart people. Yes, for the most part. 7 out of 10. Survey says 7 out of 10 catch on. There's 3 of you Republicans out there that, you know, we're gonna help you all we can. All right. Kimberly Klacik running for the 7th district, all off the top of my head, of Maryland, formerly of Elijah Cumming, the do-nothing Elijah Cumming that just took billions of dollars into that district and millions or whatever, and the decay of Baltimore. And this young lady has exposed that. Maryland District 7. Where did they hold Pence's speech last night? Was that in Baltimore? Baltimore. I'm just saying, maybe it was. Interesting. Number 4, this Cuban American Alvarez. This broke my heart. This man broke my heart. This is the greatest country in the world, and I said this before, and if I gave away everything that I have today, it would not equal 1% of what I was given when I came to this great country of ours. Okay. Vernon Jones, number 5. Okay. Black colleges, what Trump has done to fund black colleges. Let's stay focused. 5-alarm fire over at the Democrats. Black Americans leaving the Democrat mental plantation, Vernon Jones's words, Democrat in Georgia, tobacco farmers, 4-room house, went to a black college. And that's really, I've talked to Vernon. We had a 45-minute interview. We just had a discussion. And Mr. Jones was on this show, and we had a discussion one day. And I'm telling you, when President Donald Trump funded black colleges, he had Vernon Jones. There he is. Okay. How about this? The number 6, during the RNC, conduct a naturalization ceremony at the White House. 5 different countries represented. Okay. Number 7, Republicans try to close the gap on empathy and diversity. Remember this guy, number 8, Herschel Walker. Okay. Number 8, Herschel Walker. Republicans try to close the gap. Herschel said, Donald is not a racist. Here's number 9, just another shot when Mr. Ponder finds out he's going to be pardoned. Number 10, another shot of diversity. Okay. Remember Kentucky Attorney General? I forget this gentleman's name, number 12. Give me number 12. And we'll come back to this guy, Jack Brewer. Okay. Number 14. This is they are saying this morning, this is my opinion, Jacob Blake being shot in the back by a white officer. Whoa, just in time. Hurricane, black man, Kenosha, Wisconsin, being shot in the back, white officer. We don't care what the details are. We do not care what the facts are. We will not wait for them to come in. And better yet, a white kid with an AR-15. Lord, hallelujah. Thank you. A white kid with an AR-15. And he was also found at a Trump rally. Lord, when it rains, it pours. No pun intended on the hurricane. Oh, yeah, that's my opinion. The Democrats are just, man. Because Jack Brewer's on there, and he is telling people that in his course in prison, men that take his course to re-enter education and re-enter society, that they get days off their sentence because of, and people are lining up to take his course in prison because of the criminal justice reform that President Trump signed. I mean, I'm telling you, they can't let this out. Let me have this. Here's number 18. Here's Mick. Let me give you Mick really quick. Quick Mick, right? They call me Mick. My man had a flat top on. They call me Mick. He is the president union, the union of the, what is the police union, right? The National Police Union. And Mick said, I'm here to tell you, we're back in the president. You can call me Mick. I am an active law enforcement officer. You can call me Mick. Got a flat top and everything. That's right. You see, we're back in the president. We're the union. They're glossing right over it in the media. Okay. Now, let me say this, okay? And I want to play this, number 19, and there's a reason. If you're new to this show, okay, and this is not where I brag. I'm sorry. This is not where, I get, full of myself or full of something. But if you're new to the show, I will say this, okay? And let me be serious and look in the camera. President Donald Trump when he became president of the United States, when Donald Trump was sworn in and he became president of the United States, while they were attacking him and not just starting then, but going through the Russian collusion and trying to do everything to take this man down in the deep state, which I do believe in exists, Trump focused on, hey, I made promises to Americans. Now you have heard me say this early on in Trump's administration years ago on this show. I haven't said it in a while, but I do know that I said it's like that every day Trump was going somewhere in the country and fulfilling his promises. And he was holding these they would laugh at him. Laugh, right? And he was holding these business roundtable discussions all over the United States, and the media was laughing. They're not laughing now. They don't know what to do with it. Okay. And I told you, I said, when Trump became president of the United States, it was like in his desk drawer that he went around the whole country, and everywhere he went, okay, he talked to Americans. We're finding that out now. I've known that. But America, you need to share. He goes places and he talks to everyday Americans. And he gets back on that plane and he says, John, owner of this business, told me this is what's hurting his business. Jenny, owner of this shop, said this is what's hurting her business. I think he went and campaigned everywhere in the United States, and every time he got back on the plane, he wrote down his campaign promises, and on a daily basis, he pulls them out of the desk and fulfills them. Okay. Now, if you're new to the show, you don't remember, give me number 21. Okay. All right. Now, we're not going to play the entire video, but this gentleman here is the logging union. He is the head of the logging union in Minnesota. I had it up here. There we go. And here he is. Logging union leader speaks at 2020. Scott Dane, okay, from Minnesota. Now, why? And I'm going to tell you, because it's not that, Texas is supposed to be in play. Now, if something happens tonight that they have several people from Texas, okay, on the stage, okay, good. You hear from the media the negative that, Ted Cruz wasn't invited. Ted Cruz is not a part of the narrative that the Republicans are laying down. Are you picking up what they're laying down this week? Because I am. Well, I'm not seeing them roll people coming out from Texas left and right and making speeches. No. Georgia, I don't see people from Georgia. No, they're not in play, folks. I'm seeing people from Minnesota show up. That's right. I'm seeing people. Well, wait a minute. Now, we did have some Texas people there. Don't argue with me. I know the one guy was from Texas, but he was there for another reason. Don't take that wrong, okay? I'm seeing Baltimore, Texas, Minnesota, and this gentleman here. I told you earlier on the timber industry. I watched Trump go. I think it's about 3 years ago to Minnesota. He lost by 50,000 votes. And he sit down with the men and women in the timber industry, the logging industry, and he talked to them. And they're Democrats union. Do you have this guy's video? If you have this guy's video right here, I know it's I forget which one it is that I pulled up. Do you have it? If you could play his video until I say come back.
Dane. I represent loggers and truckers in Minnesota, but I also represent a way of life. Logging's been a part of the great American story from the beginning. In fact, if you go to the Capitol Rotunda and look up, you can see loggers on one of the panels, New England settlers carving out a new world from the wilderness. But logging is the most dangerous job in the country, but we embrace that risk because we know America was built by strong people building things together. America needs us to keep building, and we can't wait to be a part of it. But the last time Joe Biden was in the White House, Minnesota lost nearly half of its mills, thousands of jobs, and experienced nearly a decade of decline. It was a similar story in other parts of the country. The administration just didn't seem to care. In 47 years in Washington, Joe Biden hasn't done anything for the timber industry. When plants closed in Duluth, Sartell, Cook, and Bemidji, they were just numbers on a paper to the Obama-Biden administration. To me, they were people and jobs and families. Under Obama-Biden, radical environmentalists were allowed to kill the forests. Wildfire after wildfire shows the consequences. Managed forests, the kind my people work in, are healthy forests. Under President Trump, we've seen a new recognition of the value of forest management in reducing wildfires. And we've seen new support for our way of life, where a strong back and a strong work ethic can build a strong middle class. We want to build families where we were raised and stand by communities that stood by us. We want that way of life available for the next generation, and we want our forests there too. President Trump, thank you for helping us do just that.
Folks, I really wish, and I know we're a small network and we don't have the depth to go back. I wish I could go back and find, and in fact, I'll see if I can find some dates where Trump went to meet with logging representatives and the mill workers in Minnesota, and the media laughed at him. This is log and trucker representative, union representative in Minnesota. Okay. Half the mills, Biden was there, half the mills in Minnesota shut down. Thousands of jobs. Wonder if those thousands of jobs that come back. Nothing for timber. He's done nothing for timber since he's been in office. Nothing. Minnesota's a blue state. Russ Feingold is gone, folks. Russ Feingold is gone. Now, when you say Minnesota, I know you think I might be losing my mind. It will not be the next. But think about West Virginia was a Democrat state. Managed forest. That's the takeaway. Managed forest. Wildfires. Okay? They now are managing their forest in Minnesota. If California had managed forest programs, I won't say it would eliminate forest fires, lightning strike forest fires, wildfires, but managed forests would change their wildfire problem immensely in California. Minnesota is in play. The union. Now, let's go to this guy here. We're going to get ready for his. And I just want to say this. I know what you're saying. Didn't you do this 3 days ago? Because I'm telling you, all MSNBC and even Fox has got the red, white, and blue. They've got subliminal message colors. You can laugh at me if you want. But boy, they know how to swirl their breaking news thing and make the noise and bring in the color and the lighting and the sets. Fox knows how to do it. And you are mesmerized. You are stuck in a tunnel with Fox before you know they're talking about, Joe Biden's up 9 points in Pennsylvania and he's up here. Never tell me the last time you tuned into a network. Networks are crying, including Fox, because their viewership is so far down because the American people are watching OAN. They're watching C-SPAN. They're watching the internet, and they don't care, and they don't need to see the networks, and they're going nuts. Now, that being said, all right, let's go to this next picture because I've got my guest coming in a minute, and give me the one I had up a minute ago. I had it up. We'll get it back here. The mayor. This is the Democrat mayor in Minnesota. I had this fella here. Hang tight, Baba Louie. I get it. Where's he at there? Well, I'll be damned. I'm sorry, that's my dad used to say. I probably shouldn't say that. I'll be damned. And where the hell is that picture at? There's a mayor in the city, area 19, okay? All right, Minnesota again. Find that video and play it for me, please, Destiny.
I am Bob Wasilewicz, Mayor of Eveleth, a small town in the Iron Range of Minnesota. My father and grandfather earned their livings mining the raw materials that made the steel that built America. This election is a make or break for workers who are carrying on the legacy of men like them. Since the Iron Range economy is vulnerable to economic trends and to foreign trade, we have always needed a strong voice in Washington. We looked to Democrats to fill that void for many years because we actually thought they cared about our welfare. Not anymore. The radical environmental movement has dragged the Democratic Party so far to the left, they can no longer claim to be advocates of the working man. This is hard for me to say because I am a lifelong Democrat. But for far too long, members of both parties allowed our country to be ripped off by our trading partners, especially China, who dumped steel into our markets and slapped tariffs on our products. And what did so-called leaders like Joe Biden do? Nothing. The human cost has been devastating. We lost thousands of jobs. We lost a generation of young people who had to leave the Iron Range to find a livelihood. And worst of all, we lost hope. Then something unexpected happened. A straight-talking New Yorker burst onto the scene, promising to stand up to China and the rest of the world on behalf of the American worker. 4 years later, The Iron Range is roaring back to life, and we have one man to thank, President Donald Trump. He made good on his promises by cutting our taxes, rolling back senseless regulations, and delivering trade deals that put America's interests first. But the fight is not over. Joe Biden has allowed radicals like AOC to craft his environmental policies. Their so-called Green New Deal is a job-killing disgrace dreamt up by people who don't live in the real world. But Biden is too weak, too scared, and too sleepy to stand up to the radical left. He has been doing nothing in Washington for 47 years. Why would year 48 be any different? President Trump won't back down to anybody. He delivered the best economy in our history, and he will do it again for all of us. The Iron Range's economic future and survival is at stake, and so is America's. We know we can count on President Trump to fight for us and win. Let's make sure he wins on November 3rd. God bless America.
The Iron Range has come roaring back. Lifelong Democrat. The Green New Deal. These people don't live in reality. It will kill jobs. It will kill the Iron Range. It will kill the timber industry once again. Minnesota. Why do they keep showing up at the convention? I'm going to tell you why they keep showing up at the convention. Because of right here. Okay. I did this a couple days ago. I'm not being redundant. I'm not boring you. I'm just telling you we are in a good position as Republicans. Good position. Yes, we know between now and November 3rd, everything between now and early voting. Why do you think Democrats are begging to get the early votes back, the mail-in ballots back immediately? Because the less you know. Remember there was that thing, little public service thing, the more you know. Remember that? The more you know. The more you know, the less likely you are to vote for Joe Biden. And the more that comes out. Their fear is every day is a vote lost. Give me number 23. Okay, I showed you this the other day. This is Real Clear Politics. Now, the average of polls, okay, this is Minnesota, number 23. All right, Minnesota, Trump versus Biden. In the Real Clear Politics average, Biden is still up 5.3. But that is in the Fox poll all the way back from 7. That's July 18th through 20, that showed Biden up 13 in Minnesota, which was not accurate. Look at what the most recent, I showed you this the other day, 8/15 to 8/18 in August. It's the 27th. Now, this is Real Clear Politics, so there's no, this is the most up-to-date poll. My prediction is they're going to try to stop polling being done in Minnesota right now because of the fear. Because what is the last poll show? A tie. 47-47 in Minnesota. What does the Emerson poll show in August? The two of them in August? It shows Biden up 3, still in the margin of error. Why will the news networks not show you this, but tend to want to let you know Georgia's in play, Texas is in play, Michigan, he's 12 down. Why do Minnesotans keep showing up at the convention? Why do women with amazing stories about Trump having such an amazing staff, senior staff of women that are treated as equals, why do they keep coming to the stage? Why do moms that are told that their baby has Down syndrome and fights for school choice come? Why does Right to Try, the lady, I'm losing it, with bone cancer, and Trump gave Americans the right to try a test medication? You have the right now. Why? Why did Kayleigh McEnany come, the press secretary, and share that amazing personal story? Why are women showing up? Why are Black Americans showing up? Why? Maybe Republicans are the party that believes in freedom of expression, freedom to do what we wish, and maybe we are the unity party. Just saying. I got a guest as soon as we return. Democratic chair of Fannin County. We'll see what his great takeaways are of the Republican convention. Take us to break.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in Ellijay, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Circuit World has 9-piece living room packages at incredible prices. Get this stylish sofa and love seat, 3 tables, 2 lamps, 43-inch 4K TV, and stand, all for only $1699.99 or $129.99 a month. Or get this 9-piece living room and reclining sofa and reclining love seat, now only $1999.99 or $149.99 a month. These packages are amazing. Stop in today at one of our 5 locations and get the furniture you've always wanted at Circuit World.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is more than just your average Ace. We have a huge selection of Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next trip. We have a huge selection of lumber for your next building project. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs. Plus, we have everything you'd expect like paint, tools, and equipment.
Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge. We have your new house in stock.
Okay, we're back. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. Just a quick reminder before we bring our next guest in. We will be doing election results live. Give me number 76 there on the screen. I know your show all of the social media ways. There you go, 76. And then bring up number 77. And we will, on November 3rd, election night from 8 p.m. to midnight, okay? We'll see who turns into a pumpkin, but at midnight, we will focus on Georgia. We will have a national map. We're going to have 50-inch screen TVs, just like the networks. We're going to have a panel of people on for all 4 hours discussing the races, but we're going to stay focused on Georgia, and we will have the national coverage. So don't forget that. That'll be live election results on FYN TV. Now, my next guest is, he's been on before, and I was telling my guest offline here before we came on, I always post something on social media every day. I always stir up a thought, we'll call it that. And my next guest he always goes on and he writes his thought. So we'll say it like that, but love to have you on. The Fannin County Democratic Party Chairman, Doug DeMora, is with us now. Doug, how are you?
I'm good, Brian. It's DeMora, but that's okay.
DeMora. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's
okay. That's fine. Before we get started with our conversations on the conventions, I wanted to give you an opportunity maybe to apologize to our first Black president, Barack Obama, about your comment you made the other day.
Why did I feel that was going to come right out of the box with you? Why did I feel that? Well, I don't want to say you misunderstand me, but I do not believe Barack Obama, and I'm putting it into a different context. And I know where you're coming from, but I'm not going to apologize. I do not feel Barack Hussein Obama was the first American Black president. His dad was from Kenya. His mom is white. Hey, I didn't say there's anything wrong with that, but I made that reference at the same time that Tim Scott from South Carolina that was able to make the comment from cotton to Congress in one lifetime. And so we're going to have to, I guess, what do they say? Agree to disagree. But that's
understood.
Okay. We'll go with that. But that was a good attempt to try to get me to apologize. You know, I have only.
I didn't expect you to.
I have a pretty long list of apologies I would like to hear concerning the president from the Democrats, but we only got about 10, 15 minutes. So tell our viewers, hasn't this Republican convention been amazing? Tell me all the highlights that you've enjoyed watching this.
I'll tell you. I'll give you some of my takes on it. You know, Trump hammered the Democrats for taping their speeches, and all I've seen for the most part are, instead of being taped in their hometown, they're flying all these people into DC and they're taping their speeches here. But I thought it would be more effective if they did all these people maybe in front of some famous monument in their hometown, or a military base, or amongst some of their constituents, and not in this empty room with flags in Washington where they read teleprompters on a taped speech. And, you know, Trump hammered the Democrats for doing that. And for the last night, other than Pence, everything was pre-taped. But, you know, regardless of that, you know, I'll give you my quick take. Monday, he pandered to his base. And you know, for the most part, it was the scorched earth if you don't vote for Trump on Monday. But I got to also add this on Monday. The only way I could watch the entire RNC Monday was to tune into CNN, because Fox at 10 o'clock kept breaking away from some of the smaller speakers to have some panel discussions. I'm not sure if you stayed up past 10 o'clock.
No, I'll tell you what. I went to C-SPAN, and I went to C-SPAN because I tried to watch it on MSNBC. Now, last week I did, and I know you know that, and you know me well enough that I the way I am politically, I watched every single minute of the Democrat convention last week. I did. And I always have watched both conventions. Last week, I watched it on MSNBC because I wanted to hear Rachel Maddow and Joy, I forget her last name, and Nicole Wallace. I wanted to hear their take and their spin. But I watched it there, and they aired it in its entirety. When I started watching, that's a Democrat, but they haven't done the Republican. They cut away. I was there when Kim Klacik, that's running for the 7th district, the African American young lady in Baltimore, when she came on, Rachel Maddow said, "We got to go to break." And I said, "What?" And my opinion is they are trying to hide the biggest fear. And I'm just pointing it out. There's about 5 major fears that the Democrats have right now in this election. And one is free thinking African Americans. That's the fear they have. That's my opinion, studying what's going on. But moving along, and I'll let you comment on that. I watched it on MSNBC. Well, this week they started all the networks. If you listen to my show, I jumped on all the networks for their cutaways, and I went to C-SPAN, and I haven't moved since Monday from C-SPAN, so I could see everything. So go ahead.
All right, and so that was my take on Monday. He was basically going to his base with his messaging. Tuesday, I felt like it was pageantry and showmanship, you know, and with the ceremonies and all that stuff. And I know, you know, in my opinion, and in a lot of people's opinion, he caught a lot of grief for it. And we heard Mark Meadows yesterday saying no one cares outside the Beltway. But, you know, if Obama had Marines open up a door for him like Trump did, your head probably would have exploded the next day on the air, as well as everyone else on right-wing television. And then, you know, last night was their attempt at diversity, showing, you know, to appeal to the white suburban women and black men, two demographics that they need if they're going to have a chance. I did like the 2 speeches I liked last night were Kayleigh McEnany's and Kellyanne's, because they shared personal stories and showed basically a human side to themselves. What I find mind-boggling is, and Brian, you can sit there, and I'm sure you've got plenty of anecdotal stories about you and your dad that you could share, and I've said that on TV on your show. The Trump kids don't say that. They don't share stories about growing up with dad. You know, it's because I don't know if they didn't have that type of life, or they don't care to talk about it. But when you don't share that personal side to you, or show a human side to you, it's kind of off-putting.
Well, I will tell you this. I'm gonna go with you just a little bit on the Trump kids, because my impression, because I grew up in the Northeast. Now I throw it out there. I grew up in the Northeast, and I grew up at a time when Trump was on TV almost daily out of the New York media market. But that being said, I kindly feel Don Jr. and Ivanka and Eric grew up in it's a business mentality all the time. And I get that. I wouldn't doubt that growing up, Donald Trump's kid is you were in a business meeting at all times, regardless if you were talking about wanting to play baseball at 9 years old. He figured out the logistics of the business. So I will disagree with that, but that emotion maybe is different with the Trumps. But where was Hunter Biden? Why did they talk? Now, I watched the DNC. Doug, why did they remove Hunter from the stage? Not remove him literally, but remove him from the stage of the total convention and focus on Beau Biden and focus on because I know the story, and we won't take the time of Rosemont Capital and the money with China and Burisma, and you could call that conspiracy if you want, but the facts are there. But so when you bring up the Trump children, what about the Democrats, my opinion, running away from Biden has this son named Hunter that is missing, MIA?
Well, toward the end of the final day, Hunter was in a taped speech with all the other children talking about family and the Biden family.
3 seconds, Doug. 3 seconds now. Wait a minute. I watched that. And when Hunter came up, if you go back and watch, I'll give you 5 seconds that Hunter's face and words were on that screen within 4 days. But go ahead.
it doesn't matter. They showed it. They're not trying to hide Hunter Biden. They what they're doing is they're feeding. They want you guys to sit there and say, this where's Hunter conspiracy theory for. I can't, and I see it over and over coming out of people like Doug Collins' mouth and Jim Jordan's mouth the entire time, and it's chasing a rabbit down a hole, and it's a distraction, and that's what they want. The Republicans wanted Hunter to be a distraction from a successful convention. But I can tell you, my best speech of the entire week so far this week, however, and you should take some time to show it on your show, it belonged to Doc Rivers. And I don't know if you listened to that speech.
The Clippers, is that the head coach of the Clippers, that disgraceful speech that he made?
How was that disgraceful?
Come on, man. Listen, you don't have time. You gave me a box that you had to be in. So we're not going to, if you want to go into Doc Rivers, I will reschedule. If you want to go into these athletes deciding they don't want to play, let me tell you something. I don't know, and I'm not asking you, okay? My age, okay? I want to know if these young men can hit a three-pointer and if they could pull off the clutch play to win the game at the buzzer. I don't want to hear any of their political stance and their not playing on account of protest. I don't have time to go in that. I will invite you back to go straight for that. But if you want to go for the Milwaukee Bucks and what Doc Rivers said, if you want to say the speech that I should have listened to, where did you miss the speech that this gentleman last night, Jack Brewer, African-American, former NFL football player, where did you miss that speech?
I didn't miss it. Is that the guy that's under indictment for insider trading? Did you remember that part of it?
Former former NFL player Jack Brewer is under indictment for insider trading.
Yeah, you didn't know that?
Send me that information. I will read up on that. I mean, do you feel you have a gotcha moment? Because
No, I don't feel like that. I mean, there was talk of pulling him because of this, what's going on in this investigation into him. So, but anyhow, so half of the speech, and everybody in there reading the teleprompter speeches, all first 3 days, spent half the speech praising what a great thing Donald Trump has done, and then the other half saying what a bad world it'll be if you vote for Joe Biden, and that's been the message the entire week. I've got
to get this. I appreciate you sharing, and folks out there, Doug's only got a certain amount of time, so I'm not trying to rush him out anything. We'll bring him back or cut him off. So because I will get comments from both sides of the aisle on our conversation. I do want to go with this. Lack of enthusiasm for Joe Biden. Now, Doug, come on. You study politics. 47 years, 37, I think, as a senator, 47 years in Washington, D.C., is trying to run out the clock in a basement. Enthusiasm gap, it's enormous, Doug. I mean, people are not excited to vote for Joe Biden. It's out there. I know Democrats don't want to talk about it. Are you really enthused, excited to get to go to the ballot box and cast a vote for Joe Biden? You really think he's the one that could bring the change and unity to this country? What say you?
He is the one that can surround himself with the right people to unify this country and put it back on its course. And there is plenty of enthusiasm there. This lack of enthusiasm is something you only see when you watch Fox News. You never see that on any other network. And so, like I said, he is the right person at this time. And if you watch some of these longtime Republicans that have said they are supporting Joe Biden, it's for that reason, because the country has had plenty of opportunity to unite under President Trump, but because of his divisiveness, it's not going to happen. He's not that type of person. He's in it for the people that are in his best interests, his family and his best interests. He's not in it for the work and Joe of the American people. Never has been.
So, Doug, what say you when you look at Biden and you just take one issue of the with his running mate Kamala Harris, and you take one issue of incarceration of young black males in this country under Joe Biden and what he has done in the crime bill and the things that he's been a part of it in minimal offender young black men in this country. African Americans know that. I mean, what say you? How do you turn? I say that I just heard the president of the United States 2 weeks ago say that if you spray paint a monument, you will spend 10 years in jail, and that is incarceration for such a offense that should not even be discussed. Yeah, okay, but wait a minute. This is what I said this morning that my opinion Democrats are doing is every time we bring something up or something's brought up, instead of answering that question, you go to, well, you did this. Let's go to the 47 years Joe has. I mean, the reality is it's out there. It's in black and white. No pun intended. Didn't mean it that way. But you know where I'm going with that. So, I mean.
So tell me how many Republicans voiced their opinion in opposition to that crime bill back then. How many voted against it?
I get it. They're not on the ticket today. Joe Biden is.
I get it, but you understand what was going on at that time. And so for you to say that this is all on Joe Biden is also a false narrative.
Well, okay, we'll come back to that at a different time. I mean, I want to get, I don't know when you're going to tell me, hey, I got to go, because you did.
Yeah, I got about 2 or 3 more minutes.
All right, 2 or 3 more minutes. So Georgia's.
Let's talk about local candidates.
Go for it. All right, go for it. Which ones would you like to talk about?
Well, we have 3 candidates in Fannin County running for office this year. Probably the 2 school board positions are probably 2 of the most qualified individuals, have far more educational experience. One is T.C. Dillard, who is the retired vice principal of Fannin County High School, has been in the Fannin County school system for over 35 years. Loved by both sides of the aisle, and is far more qualified than an opponent to be on a school board. The other candidate, Kathy Smith, has over 27 years of educational experience and is retired. Again, these people need to be the people in these counties, and I'm not just talking Fannin, I'm talking the 9th district, and I'll speak one more time in the 9th before we cut off, but people need to look at the person and their experience and their plans for the local community and county versus the letter next to their name. And until they start doing that, we'll go through these same controversies we're going through with the Board of Commission here in Fannin County. We'll go through the unhappiness of everybody about how things are run. So, and the last comment I have is, in the 9th district in 2018, we had just 16 candidates run for there was 107 open seats. This year we have 40 in the 9th district. So the enthusiasm for the Democratic Party in the 9th district has come up quite a bit, and we can thank June Crist for that. And you've had June on your show. She's a fantastic woman and a great person to be part of this movement in the 9th. And she's also running for office against Steve Gooch. So the local enthusiasm's there, the national enthusiasm's there for the Democratic Party. I know the Republicans are on their toes. I know you warned them that they're coming, and you constantly talk about that on your show. So, and that's where I'm going to leave it with you today. And we'll schedule another time to be on.
Yeah, I want to get you back, Doug, and I want to say, I'm not, I'm a little disappointed. I really thought that today you were going to come on the show and say, after watching, even though the C-SPAN caller the other night from Lorain, Ohio, they called the Democrat line and said they had been a Democrat their whole entire life. And I thought that was you this morning. You were going to call and say, I'm so excited after watching Republicans this week. I want to use your show to announce that you're voting for Donald Trump. But we'll just keep trying.
As a lifelong Democrat who has half of my family are Republicans and most all of my friends up here in North Georgia are Republicans, I will probably say that I am not ready to switch to the other party.
Doug, thank you for coming on, taking your time. We will get you back real soon because I do like the discussion on both sides of the issues. Okay. I appreciate it. You have a nice day.
All right. Sounds good. Thanks.
All right, folks. That is Doug DeMore. DeMore? Did I get that right, Destiny? I really don't try to do that wrong. DeMore. Sorry, Doug. Good guy. I love he posts. Go post on my stuff. I will not delete when you post on my, I put up a post. When you go and you write, I won't delete it. But, you don't have to get ugly. Doug doesn't get ugly. Rick doesn't. They come at me. I got it. I love when they come at me. I knew Doug was going to ask me about Barack Hussein Obama this morning. But go, hey, find me on Facebook and go post under my stuff and we'll get you on the show. You want to be on the show with Democrats? Come on, let's talk. I'm your host, BKP. I can't tell you how much I'm enjoying this day. Again, thank you to our guest, and we'll be back right after this brief message.
Circuit World has complete queen bedroom packages at amazing prices. Get this queen bed, dresser and mirror, one nightstand, bedding set, and free 32-inch TV, all for only $1799.99 or $129.99 a month. Or get this complete queen bedroom set and sleep in style, also for only $1799.99 or $129.99 a month. What an incredible deal! Stop in today at one of our 5 locations and get the furniture you've always wanted at Circuit World.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
If you want big Chevy discounts, Days Chevrolet in Jasper gets it done with savings of $8,000 on new Chevy Equinox or up to $10,000 savings off new Silverado crew cabs. We're big on discounts and even bigger on customer service. See Days Chevrolet in Jasper, where new Chevys always cost less. Days Chevrolet, Days gets it done. Find new roads.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business, and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in Ellijay, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair, and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Circuit World has 9-piece living room packages at incredible prices. Get this stylish sofa and love seat, 3 tables, 2 lamps, 43-inch 4K TV, and stand, all for only $1699.99 or $129.99 a month. Or get this 9-piece living room and reclining sofa and reclining love seat, now only $1999.99 or $149.99 a month. These packages are amazing. Stop in today at one of our 5 locations and get the furniture you've always wanted at Circuit World.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is more than just your average Ace. We have a huge selection of Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next trip. We have a huge selection of lumber for your next building project. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs. Plus, we have everything you'd expect like paint, tools, and equipment.
Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge. We have your new house in stock.
Hey, folks, we're back. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office. North Georgia's only live online morning show, 9/17, August 27th, 2020. Let's put up, and I want to remind you because you're going to see this on social media. Turn off the networks. In fact, that's something that probably should be on some of our cards. Turn off the networks. I love the message I got. Somebody was listening to Doug's interview this morning, said, why does he assume we all watch Fox? And I have to tell you, we are turning off networks in this country. We're turning them off, okay? And we are growing rapidly. And so turn off the networks the night of the election. And we are working, I'm going to look at the camera. You have my commitment. Give me number 76. Okay. You have my commitment right now that we are working. I have a 10:30 meeting, 11 o'clock meeting. We are working on assembling a panel of knowledgeable people. Okay. All right. Not people stuck inside the Beltway that have no idea what is happening in the real world. They're not realistic. Okay. We're going to put real people, knowledgeable about what's happening, panels together. We're going to have live election night coverage on fyntv.com. And we will be at 8 p.m. and we're going to go to 12 midnight. Okay. The reason being is the Cub fan turns into a pumpkin after midnight. That's a joke. God, I'm going to get in trouble for that one today. But no, it's just a joke. But, you know, so many are telling us, including the president, we may not know the outcome of the election, presidential election, the night of. So if you want to sit over there and you want to flip over to Rachel Maddow and CNN and Jake Tapper and the Wolf Blitz or whatever his name is, and as the Cub fan calls him, if you want to go over and watch Pumpkinhead Brett Baer, and if you want to see, you know, Steve Kornacki, go over to, well, we were watching from the parking lot and we found 4 black people come out and 7 white people and 3 Latinos. So what that's telling us now is we can say this area had more white people come out of the polling place, but not if you put black and Latinos together. So Joe Biden may be doing well in that district. I mean, do you not get sick of that SHI asterisk? Do you not? I get so sick of that crap. And everything that I've done on fyntv.com is really, I am so tired of terrible debates. So I've now done about 40. I'm preparing for another one. I've had the opportunity to moderate about 40 debates because I was so tired. What's your favorite ice cream? And yours? He likes Rocky Road. Why do you like vanilla? What the hell? Ask them damn questions so the voters can find out who the hell they are. I want to get to know I get to know candidate. Anyhow, I'm getting a rambling. You know that. You know what's happening here. So if you want to watch that nonsense, go ahead. We're going to put together a panel, 4 hours. Okay. We're going to have interactive 50-inch screen TVs, interactive maps. We're going to have interactive maps. We are going to make projections ourselves. We're going to have a decision desk. Okay. We're going to have a decision desk. You're going to love this part. Okay. We're going to have a decision desk, panelists, interactive maps on the screen. We're going to focus on Georgia. They want you to believe that the Senate goes through Georgia, that John Ossoff has a chance against David Perdue. We're going to focus on that race. We're going to focus on the jungle primary with 21 candidates where the top 4, I guess, are Lieberman, Warnock, Collins, and Loeffler. Okay, we're going to focus on that. We're going to focus on the Georgia House of Representatives and the Georgia State Senate, because are they going to keep control? Because whoever controls, Republicans or Democrats, the House and the Senate in the state will write the lines here for the district, redistricting. So there's a lot going on in Georgia, and we're going to follow it, and we're going to focus on that, and we're going to have national. So we're going to have all this stuff. So I tell the staff, I tell everybody, this is what all we're doing. And they say, how are we doing that? I say, I don't know, but we're going to do it. That's how it works. You have to have vision, folks. But we do have a game plan, okay? The staff's like, oh, what are you getting us into now? How are we going to do this? I'm not for sure, but it's going to happen. You tune in November 3rd, you're going to be like, damn, I need to tell all my friends about FYNTV.com. Let me get off this. I can't wait for November 3rd, as you well know, but we will have the best coverage, okay? So moving right along. I disagree with Doug, and obviously the substance of the Republican convention, the substance is absolutely amazing, okay? The Green New Deal is not in reality. They will destroy jobs in America, the Green New Deal. We've talked about that. I don't want to take our time on the radical left and how far out there. Give me number 75. School choice advocate shares how her OBGYN told her to abort child with Down syndrome. Okay. So let me see if I can find that article. I had it just a minute ago. I should be able to pull it up. Maybe I'll have to go to another one here. Yes, you were voting overwhelmingly for Madison Cawthorn standing up, and you're voting that as your favorite. I'm hearing so many of you vote as that is your favorite moment last night. So, thought I had it here. Here it is. No wonder. There it is, right where. So you got it on the screen. Now I'm going to ask a question. School choice advocate Tara Myers shared Wednesday that doctors had encouraged her to abort her son Samuel, who has Down syndrome. Go watch these clips. They're only 6 and 7 minutes long, and they're very emotional, but they're real. All right. When he said pandering to your base, pageantry, attempt at diversity, these are real stories from real people. Now, me, I liked Vice President Mike Pence's speech. I liked it. I like Stefanik from New York. I like those. But the ones I'm enjoying the most throughout the week are what I call the real people of America. And they're highlighting in the convention. And this lady fought. This is a short story. Go watch it. This lady fought. She was told her baby had Down syndrome. And that the OBGYN explained to her what a burden that would be. What a burden that would be in her life. She goes on to say she had the baby. She wanted her Down syndrome son, Samuel, to have an education, and she wasn't satisfied, and she worked to pass legislation for school choice. She went to the president last year. She got invited to the Oval Office with her son. And I don't want to get started because I get teared up. Now, I have a question for Democrats, because last night the Republicans are doing a very good job in what I call explaining and hitting on abortion in a whole different way, because we know Democrats are radical, all right? We have Republicans that are pro-choice. I got it. We have Republicans that want to have the privacy of making their decision on things much like abortion. I get it. and we're not getting into right or wrong. I get it, okay? Republicans are finding a way to counter the radical side of abortion. And last night, give me number 17. And I have this story up somewhere, number 17. Just a second. Hold tight. No, I don't care about multimillionaires saying they're not going to play basketball. I don't care. I have no interest in that whatsoever. I have this wonderful lady's story on the screen somewhere, and I will find it. Okay. All right. Military doctor turned nun unloads on Biden-Harris most anti-life presidential ticket ever. Sister, what's her name? Is it Brian? Of the little workers of the Sacred Hearts of Jesus and Mary slammed the Democrat presidential ticket during the night 3 of the Republican Party. I want that one quote that she had, and I'm going to get it. Let's see which brings me to Donald Trump. There's a quote here. Did I send this video? I don't think I sent this video. Not only pro-life or pro. Let's see. Anyhow, I've lost the quote I wanted with the nun. Democrats, Harris and Biden, are the most radical anti-life presidential ticket ever. And see, when did, and I'm going to ask this question, I'd love for you to ask Democrats this, and you know, I used to tell some of my sales staff, if you tell somebody the truth, if you tell a customer a truth about something, and they get angry, if they're decent people, they're going to realize the only thing they got angry about was you telling the truth. Now remember that. So if you tell somebody the truth on something and they get angry, that doesn't mean you start into a confrontation. I would tell my salespeople, if you tell your customer the truth about something, okay, and they get angry, remember they're getting angry because you told them the truth. And if they're decent people, they're going to make awesome customers, because if they're decent people, they're going to say, the only thing I really got mad at that individual about was telling me the truth. So let's say for this, you have Democratic friends. Okay. You're cringing like, oh gosh, but you have friends. Okay. And they have children. And I'm just picking a name out of the clear blue sky. And you say to them, it may upset them. Can I ask you a question? Okay. When during the pregnancy, you have Democrats that love their children. They love their children. And ask the question, when did you decide? When did you and your wife decide that little Bobby that is now going off to college, that is getting married next week, when did you and your wife decide Bobby was your child? Just tell me. When? 6 weeks in? 9 weeks in? Now look at little Bobby and think about that your party is okay. Were you in the delivery room? I'm sorry to put it this way. I'm going to ask you. So you say were you in the delivery room? Yes, I was in there with my wife. I videoed it. Okay, all right. I didn't ask for that, but you were in there, right? So you remember the doctor saying, here comes the head out of the birth canal, right? It's coming. We're coming through this area. In that emotion, when did you feel that this is your child? Little Bobby you're the parents. When did you acknowledge that personally to yourself? A lot of people will say, that's my own personal decision. I get it. But here's where Democrats, and you may think to yourself, Republicans are really taking a chance, taking on abortion right now. No, they're not. Oh, no, they're not. Because you know what? The reason I ask you that is Kamala Harris and Joe Biden, and just stop and think. And I'm not trying to get you mad at me. But, you know, we love your son too, and they're getting married next week, and they're amazing kids. And I've watched them play baseball, and I've watched them play soccer or in the band, and they're just amazing. Your children are amazing. But I just want to let you know that your party and your ticket is okay. And go back to hearing the doctor say, okay, we're dilated. Okay, here comes the child. Okay, I can see that. You need to realize your ticket would end Bobby's life right there. They would. No matter how angry you get at me, they would. Now, if they get angry, don't go back. Don't go back and forth. Don't do it to make them angry. Do it to personalize it. And if they get upset because you did, now this is close friend talk. And this is how we're going to have to win this election. So if you do that and they get mad and they don't want to talk to you, they're going to go home. And here's what I can look in the camera and tell you and guarantee you. They're going to realize that the only thing they're upset with you about is the truth. You see, Ralph Northam of Virginia, and Republicans have this right now, and they do need to talk abortion in this country. Because you know what? Leave the nun on the screen. Democrat Ralph Northam said they would deliver the baby, okay? Deliver the baby, and then have a discussion with the mother. We've tried to protect sanctity of life. I get it. It's your personal decision. So if in 6 weeks, I don't want to fight with anybody, within 6 weeks, if you and someone decide that, you know, you haven't determined that's your child, okay, I'm not going to argue with you. But Democrats have children, and you look at them and you say, when did you decide that was your child? When? When did the two of you start putting baby names together? You realize that Kamala Harris and Joe Biden are okay with dismembering, cutting up a baby in the birth canal, dismembering it, and bringing it out and disposing of it in a trash can. Most murderous ticket ever assembled, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. And to try to do it under the guise of women's health. Women's health. You know, it was a Democrat, Bevins, is that his name? The governor. It was a Democrat state house in Louisiana, a Democrat governor that signed one of the most strict abortion bills that went to there. They don't want you to have admitting privileges. You got to remember, if you study this, this is not a hard thing to discuss because you can reframe this to where they can't get out of the discussion. We're not talking about 6 weeks. So, I mean, if you're out there yelling at me, hey, I'm sanctity of life, I'm from conception. Good. Okay. I'm 6 weeks. Good. All right. Okay. But you got to realize they can't get out of this conversation because if a baby that they're attempting to abort, your doctor has taken an oath to do everything to attempt to save your life. Well, that's not exactly what the oath says. Well, don't attack me. Your doctor has done everything. They are sworn to do everything they can. And that's what the discussion is in healthcare in so many ways. All right? To save your life. Okay? Baby is attempted to be aborted. And it goes wrong in their eyes. And the baby lives. And they take a breath on the outside of the womb and lives, and it's botched. There's no time that it kicks in to be a doctor and saving the baby's life. They continue with the murder. I'm going to say something. We're going to take a break. I'm going to come back and finish up. I did not intend to go there, but it is true. Ask your Democratic friends. And I'm just using a random name, okay? When did you two consider Bobby your child? Because I've watched you. I've known you my whole life. I remember when you brought this baby home from the hospital. I remember when you were telling people, Bobby's first words were Democrat. All right, just joking. When did you decide that? Because your party, just think about it. There's no room in your party for you. It's the bottom line. And they know it. Democrats know it. Democrats are trying to pull off the final shot to not change this country, to dismantle it, burn it down, and call it a phoenix rising in their image of what they feel the control of the government should be in your life. I got to get away from this, but I'm just saying you should have to have admitting privileges into a hospital. We have to be careful. When will, and I tell you, I'm going to say this, could that mother, let me go back to this just for a minute, because I just want to stir this, not to get it emotional for you to, I don't want to get it to where, let's see, where am I at here? Was the picture right before that? The mother, I got it here somewhere. Give me number 75, okay? Number 75. School choice. The OG, if you listen to this mother, the OGBYN discussed an abortion and what it was going to do to her quality of life and the pressure she was going to be under trying to raise this child. Would Democrats be okay with her coming back later, 3 years old? I know you're freaking out, and saying, I should have made this decision 3 years ago. Is there going to be a time limit? I can't handle the pressure. I made the wrong decision. Just saying. Take a break. We're going to come back. We have a lot to do. I got to get through it. Sorry I got sidetracked this morning, but I got emotional on this issue right here. Take us to break.
Circa World has complete queen bedroom packages at amazing prices. Get this queen bed, dresser and mirror, one nightstand, bedding set, and free 32-inch TV, all for only $1799.99 or $129.99 a month. Or get this complete queen bedroom set and sleep in style, also for only $1799.99 or $129.99 a month. What an incredible deal! Stop in today at one of our 5 locations and get the furniture you've always wanted at Circuit World.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
If you want big Chevy discounts, Days Chevrolet in Jasper gets it done with savings of $8,000 on new Chevy Equinox or up to $10,000 savings off new Silverado crew cabs. We're big on discounts and even bigger on customer service. See Days Chevrolet in Jasper, where new Chevys always cost less. Days Chevrolet, Days gets it done. Find new roads.
Hey, folks, we're back. We have not lost our Wi-Fi connection in 2 straight days. So I don't know what was happening the last couple days, but we are getting a hard line wired into the studio here, so it doesn't happen anymore. You voted overwhelmingly. I've gone to the social media pages. Madison Clawthorne, a young man running for Congress in North Carolina that kneeled for the cross or whatever, and stand for the flag. So you have voted for that. Listen, let's roll through here. They are going nuts. So we got a lot we're going through in just about 10 minutes. Hang on. Okay, brace yourself, but we're going to make it happen because we have to show you Trump can win. Trump can win in a landslide. Trump will need you to help him. That's why I have these discussions, and it's not to preach to you, but I have these discussions. You do not wait for the media to get the message out. Okay. I'm going to say networks that I'm telling you, turn the networks off. Go to Somebody sent me a message. They watch on OAN. I'm watching C-SPAN. Okay. Turn the garbage off. Get the message out. Send an email out today to your email list, 200 people on your email list. Here is a link where you can watch and go to C-SPAN live the president's address tonight. It'll be awesome. Please put the top, turn the networks off. And I mean turn the networks off. Hashtag turn the networks off. Did I just do something? Wow. I'm rolling. Turn them off. Okay. Now, number 11, okay, they've gone nuts because Biden won't come out of the basement. Biden will not communicate with voters. And Trump and Pence and Republicans, they're out there and they're loving every minute of it. Pence touts administration's coronavirus response as U.S. death toll hits 180,000. Yes, I'm just going to show you the attempt. Trump comes out last night. Their heads are spinning off because Trump didn't say anything last night. Here was one of my favorites, number 13. Number 13, Coach. You always have Coach, right? Here's Lou Holtz. All right. Lou Holtz, former college football and NFL. He said there was a statue out there at Notre Dame. They had to have a place for the pigeons to land. Lou Holtz, he was a keynote speaker at an event I was at one time. I'm going to say back 15 years ago or whatever, but Lou Holtz was keynote speaker. He come in and he talked about hard work. He talked about his first college coaching job that he was starting to make a little bit of money. Okay. And I'll never forget this. He was starting to make a little money and he said he was never home. I mean, he was in his office and it was almost like he was there 20 hours a day and whatever. And he said one day the kids complained and he moved the family into a real nice home, nice neighborhood, all the above. And one day the kids complained. He said, I'll never forget the story. He said, so I piled order. They said, you're never home. You're never here. You missed my recital, whatever, and I'm not taking up for that. But anyhow, he said, so what I did is I piled all the kids. I said, get in the station wagon. Well, if you don't know a Catholic, in the Wayback Machine, you had to have a station wagon because you had little Petey, big Petey, medium Petey. You had Marie, whatever. You had 3 Maries, Anna, little Petey, Dominic, whatever. You had to have a station wagon for all the Peteys back then, okay? I'm not making fun. My friends are Catholic. Oh, God, you people are unreal. So anyhow, so Lou Holtz, he piled all the kids in the station wagon. I'll never forget this story. And he drove them to the bad side of town. Just saying. And they said, Dad, why are we here? Oh, my God, look at this. Why are we here? I tell you what, I quit the coaching job tomorrow. We live here. I keep the coaching job. We stay in the house where we're at. He said the kids said we'll stay there, and they never complained again. It's one of my favorite stories. There's Coach Lou Holtz right there. I told you this morning, all right? Number 16, absolutely beautiful woman. I really did. It wasn't until last night because I don't pay a lot of attention to Laura Trump, and I don't want you to take that wrong. I don't follow her on Twitter or whatever, and I just thought last night that's a very pretty lady. So she did a great job. All right. Here's Mick. Just call me Mick, number 18. I didn't get time to do this story, but follow up why the police union and Mick here with the flat top said, hey, call me Mick. I'm 38 years. I am active duty law enforcement, flat top, the whole works. We are the police union. We're behind the president. You got it? Better get it because we're all right. So Mick is there. All right. So number 20. This is all they got out last night. They get no emotion, no real stories. I watched for 2 hours. No Kellyanne Conway, no Kayleigh McElhaney, none of that. The Pence, number 20. Number 20, Pence attacks Democrats' agenda despite GOP not issuing a policy platform for 2020. They just adopted the 2016 one. That's all they could do. It's just like, oh, well, wait a minute. Clarence Henderson, number 22. Let's play a little of his video. Number 22, Clarence Henderson, 1960 Greensboro sit-in participant. You got that video? Can you load that up?
Hello, Americans. I am Clarence Henderson. There have been movements that have changed the course of history. Among the most extraordinary was the Civil Rights Movement. 60 years ago, segregation was legal and enforced. The simple act of sitting at a lunch counter could lead to physical harm, jail time, or worse. I know from personal experience. Walking into Woolworth department store on February 2nd, 1960, I knew it was unlike any day I'd experienced before. My friends had been denied service the day before because of the color of their skin. We knew it wasn't right. But when we went back the next day, I didn't know whether I was going to come out in a vertical or prone position, in handcuffs or on a stretcher, or even in a body bag. By sitting down to order a cup of coffee, we challenged injustice. We knew it was necessary, but we didn't know what would happen. We faced down the KKK. We were cursed at and called all kinds of names. They threatened to kill us, and some of us were arrested, but it was worth it. Our actions inspired similar protests throughout the South against racial injustice. And in the end, segregation was abolished, and our country moved a step closer to true equality for all. That's what actual peaceful protest can accomplish. America isn't perfect. We're always improving, but the great thing about this country is that it's not where you come from, it's where you're going. I was born on what some would call the wrong side of the tracks. I don't even have a birth certificate. I never attended an integrated school, and am the only one out of my immediate family who graduated from college, an HBCU. I'm a military veteran and a civil rights activist. And you know what else? I'm a Republican, and I support Donald Trump. If that sounds strange, you don't know your history. It was the Republican Party that passed the 13th Amendment.
All right, there's about 2 or 3 more minutes of that. HBCU, they don't know what to do because Donald Trump has funded the black colleges. Let me just say this real quick. I want to tell this story. I'm in a storytelling mode. Woolworths lunch counter, okay? I'm 16 years old, all right? I'm 16 years old. My grandmother, when she got her Social Security check on the 3rd of the month, okay, she always made a hair appointment, go get her hair done, go shopping, and she had to go to Woolworths lunch counter. She had to have lunch at Woolworths. And I was 16 years old, and I would always take my grandma on the 3rd day of the month. We would go, and I would sit there while grandma got her hair done. And then we would go shopping. I got another story what grandma did to me one time shopping. We'd go shopping. I'd take her shopping. Grandma could not hear very well, so she'd say some outrageous things in front of people. And then I always remember going to the Woolworths lunch counter for lunch. Sorry, if you don't have any of those great stories about a Woolworths lunch counter. Number 26, by the way, he's a Republican, and he supports Donald Trump. Nation of Miracles, Pence hits Biden for saying no miracles is coming on coronavirus. That's number 26. Here's number 27. Pence touts law and order in RNC. You would think this is the only thing that happened last night. Number 28. They're all bent out of shape. They're twerked all over, out of sync there. We're going to run probably about 10:03. I hope you guys are all right. But Pence attacks number 28. Democrats' agenda. That's another one again. This is the takeaway. Because, see, Joe won't come out of the basement, and they've got to run interference. This is the enthusiasm. When Doug said the enthusiasm when I tuned into the networks are the only thing that's trying to create a Democratic enthusiasm because it's not there with the voters or the candidates. Number 29, they're trying to help by saying President, First Lady mingle in the crowd without masks at the RNC. Okay, here it is. Watch. Number 30. Wasn't this great? It was such an emotional night. Now, here is what, and I understand when you say the base, and I get it if you want to say, you're the base. Okay, I'll be called the base. You can call me that, all right? Trump never said a word last night. Now text me and let me know if I'm wrong. Not one word. He just came out and did a walk around. And it was amazing. I mean, it was amazing. Taking pictures with people, getting in the area where they could take a picture with the people behind. It was for the people. We have not had. If you do this, I will be ticked, Republicans. Please get this all the way to the top. Some of you out there have contacts. If I see tonight anywhere, I got to be careful because I can come here and be in trouble tomorrow, but a Zoom applause box like, Hollywood Square. No, we have real people applauding. All right, so moving right along. Number 30 there. They're bent out of shape. Number 31, Melania Trump lauded COVID-19 empathy was undercut by her maskless mingling at RNC. You out here maskless. Just last night, you were saying you had empathy for the COVID-19 victims in this country. And now you're just running all around maskless. and you're mingling. Who told you you can go mingling? I'm sorry. Keep it going. Keep it going. Let's see. Let's go to 33. You see, they're going nuts. 33, President, First Lady mingle in the crowd without masks at the RNC. Number 35, Hurricane Laura to cause unsurvivable storm surge. They love unsurvivable. Is that what that says? I don't have my glasses on. Really? Athletes, I don't give a rat's ass what you think, athletes. Number 36, athletes take a stand with historic boycott. I'm sorry, I missed the NBA basketball game. What happened? Oh, they didn't play? Oh. Number 37, athletes take a stand with historic boycott. Lakers and Clippers vote not to finish the playoffs. We're not finishing. Why? I don't know if he had a warrant for his arrest. I don't know if Jacob Blake had a warrant. I don't know if he had a knife. I don't know if the officers were following their training, but we just won't play. 39. Hey, where can I order this t-shirt? Number 40. Where can I order this t-shirt? Look at this. Really? Number 41. Shirts with bullet holes in the back. Number 42, Wisconsin AG. The Kenosha Police Department officer who opened fire identified as Rustin Shishki, is that his name? A 7-year veteran. All right. AG says Jacob Blake was near knife. Single officer shot him in the back 7 times. Number 43, Brewers. We're going home. We have a clause in our contract. If we feel there's social injustice and we want to just leave, we're allowed to go home. 44, Brewers among teams that choose not to play. We're not going to play. Here is number 45, Dominic Smith, New York Mets outfielder. I don't know if the brother had a warrant. I don't know. It was in the project. Folks, if you do not understand the projects in America, don't give me your bull SHI asterisk about your concerns. I get tired of you damn white people getting all emotional all of a sudden and crying when the projects were built with government money and they put people there. You live there. 46. Now, this is their top story. You can't beat a white kid, 17 years old, with an AR-15. This story will come out today. I wanted to do some on this, but you will get clarification. Number 47, it will not be through the networks. Jacob Blake shooting. Suspect 17 arrested in Kenosha shooting that killed 2. Oh, man. I told you when we opened the show, these reporters, number 48, they are like, thank you, Jesus. I know you're so upset. 1, you don't think Jesus would do that. And 2, maybe sounds blasphemy, and maybe Democrats don't even say Jesus, they say God. Or thank you, Lord of the Trees. I don't know, Lord of the Trees, for sending a hurricane, a black man being shot by a white police officer. Now we got a white kid. We got a white kid with a gun. Thank you, Lord of the Trees. That's what we'll say. So suspect 17 arrested in Kenosha. Number 49, we're rolling. Just stay with me. Officials knife found in Jacob Blake's vehicle after police shooting. Number 50, Pence back to Pence. Number 51. 52, Wisconsin Attorney General. 53. See, after police shooting, officials knife found in Jacob Blake's vehicle after police shooting. It's implying it was planted, folks. I'm just telling you, I know what they're implying there. Number 54, we have a white guy. Looks to be early 60s, holding a sign, but he does have a nice safety vest on for his protest. Oh, my God. Number 55, 17-year-old arrested for deadly shooting during Wisconsin protest. He did have a gun, and there may have been a self-defense issue there. Do you think, I wanted to go with this one, I didn't want to leave to you again. Do you think that you are not in constant surveillance? Do you think when you go to a Trump rally, do you think when you go anywhere that they're not using facial recognition to identify you and they're ready? This one scares the SHIT out of me, damn it. Number 56. Look at this. The Kenosha shooter suspect was in the front row of a Trump rally in January. Right there. See the circle? See that? Huh. That's right. Number 57. Much of Rittenhouse's Facebook page is devoted to praising law enforcement with references to Blue Lives Matter, a movement that supports police. He also can be seen holding an assault rifle. Writing on Facebook, Blue Lives Matter, supporting law enforcement, being at a Trump rally and having a rifle. We got our man. Number 58. Let me see if there's something else I want. I don't want to go without. Number 67, Minka's concerned. Okay. Number 68, Biden speaks to Blake family, comments on Kenosha violence. All right. Let me see if I have anything else. I want to go with this. All right. I want to give a shout out to number 74, Kaylee McElhenney. I will not end the show without saying you're an amazing lady. Okay. You are an amazing lady. And I will highlight more about you on this show. It was your story. Thank you for sharing your story. And then let's go with number 76. Don't forget, we have live election coverage. Tonight is the last night. Watch the president, watch on C-SPAN or the internet network. Turn off the networks. Hashtag turn off the networks, period. Talk to your friends. We can win this one. 10:06. Thank you, ladies, for staying a little extra on the show, getting everything up to put out. Sorry I got sidetracked on some of the things I like to do. I will be back tomorrow morning I'll just be back. That's the warning. I will be here. Damn it! You show up, I'll be here. Later.